So Fenty Beauty recently released a new product which everyone is excited about. I mean, the only thing we're not excited about is the amount of products we get from this. I was able to achieve this look I'm wearing now with this product. So if you're interested in hearing my thoughts, please keep on watching. I saw the product first on their page on Instagram and I was very curious. I don't own their skin tint, but I have tried it. I was going back and forth between purchasing the shade 20 or 21. Shade 20 was a bit light for me and 21 was a little bit dark for me. So I wish there was a shade between 20 and 21. So I didn't really get around to purchasing the product because I just needed a very good or comfortable shade. And now they have come out with a stick version. I did purchase the product from Sephora a few days ago. I purchased the shade 20 because looking at the pictures, the model who they applied the shade 21 on looked about 2-3 shades darker than I am. So I wasn't comfortable purchasing that shade. I really like the design on the packaging. It looks very sleek. When you open it, this is what it looks like. It comes in a recyclable container. The case also has a cover or a top where you can open it to see the product. You can twist it up to get the product. This is $35 and it comes in 25 shades. It comes in a cream formula and it is cruelty free. It's a light coverage Longwear tint stick with a creamy smooth texture that instantly blurs while melting into skin for a natural finish. This gives a light to medium coverage. It is a crease proof formula that delivers a blurred, smooth, second skin finish that resists fading and transferring. Easy to use, the stick helps with all day hydration and contains color true pigments that resist oxidation. Plus it's 100% recyclable. Prep skin with Hydra Visor SPF 30 moisturizer for the ultimate skincare base, letting it dry down before your complexion step. For light coverage, apply directly to skin across your cheeks, forehead, nose and chin. Blend with fingers or the full-bodied foundation brush for extra benefits. So for this product, you can use your fingers, a brush or a sponge. Let's do some swatches. I'm going to swatch this alongside the skin tint. I think I have samples of them. This is the tint stick in the shade 20, blurring skin tint in the shade 20, and this is the blurring skin tint in the shade 21. These two shades are not so different. This one looks like it's a little bit lighter than this one. Yeah, but they're not so different to me. But this one looks like it's more of golden undertone, and this is leaning towards being a red or pink undertone. This is 21 and it's just a little bit dark for me. If I blend it out, it's just not going to work, even though it looks like this now. For one side of my face, I'm not going to use a primer. I already have on my moisturizer. I'm not going to use a primer, but for the other side, I'll use the Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r Instant Retouch Primer. Let's see how it looks over a primer versus without a primer. Very creamy. I'm going to use a brush. This is a tint stick on the side where I do not have any primer. It blended out effortlessly onto my skin, and as you can see, it has evened out the areas where I have some hyperpigmentation. It's not so bad. My skin looks very even. Even my area of concern, which is above here, I can still see the discolored area, but it's not so bad. So this is what it looks like again. Now I'm going to go ahead and apply the product on the side where I have a primer. On this side of my face, I'm going to try to use my fingers. This doesn't have any smell whatsoever. To me, I don't smell anything. So this is the side with a primer and with my fingers. And this is the side with a brush. I prefer the side with a brush because it looks more even to me and more blurred. I have let this sit for about 10 minutes. I'd like to do a transfer test. So I have my tissue paper. Ooh, are you kidding me? We're gonna press this again. I had to press it twice in to be sure, because the first time there was no product at all. I was like, what? It's indeed transfer resistant. Side, I use my fingers now. Okay, so yeah, now I get some product. Now there is some product, but still very minimal amount of product, and this is from the side I use my fingers. Now we're going to go ahead and complete the rest of my makeup. For concealer today, I'll be using the Fenty Beauty Instant Retouch Concealer in the shade 400. For under eye setting powder, I'll be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Loose Setting Powder in the shade Deep Peach. For all of the face setting powder, I'll be using the Fenty Beauty Setting Powder in the shade Nutmeg. This is in mini size. For bronzer, I'll be using the MAC Skinfinish Sunstruck Matte Bronzer in the shade Matte Rich Rosy. For lipstick today, I'll be using the Fenty Beauty Velvet Liquid Lipstick in the shade HBIC. So this is the final look I achieved with the new Fenty Beauty Tint stick and the rest of my complexion or makeup product. Do I like the product? I do. I am not a fan of cream products because I usually feel they transfer a lot and they move around the skin a lot, but I was very impressed or surprised that this one, when I did my transfer test and I didn't really get the amount of transfer I expected to get. I got just very minimal amount of transfer from this product. Now the shade 20 in this tint stick is a more comfortable shade for me than the shade 20 in the Skin Tint. They're very similar shades, but this has more red in it than the other one. In my opinion, it has more red undertones in it, which is why it matched me better. It did look a little bit light when I applied it, but when I started blending it out, it kind of blended right into my skin and matched my skin very nicely. Now it blurred and evened out my skin. The dark areas around my face wasn't so visible after I had blended the foundation. The coverage is light, but you can build it to a medium coverage, because like I said, I still see some, if you look around under my nose, this area is one of my problem areas. I can see that the darkness around this area is very visible. In order to achieve a flawless coverage with this, you need to use a color corrector to conceal or correct those areas of your face where you have issues. In the details, we were advised to prep our skin with the Hydra Visor SPF 30 moisturizer from the same Fenty brand, but I didn't have it, so maybe we use that product with this, your skin might appear even more blurred and evened out. Using my fingers and using the brush, I was able to get about the same amount of coverage, but I prefer the side with the brush because I think it looked smoother and more evened out. And then for oxidation, it says this does not oxidize, so I don't think it does. I don't think it does oxidize because it's still looking, I'm looking at the side of my skin because that's where I know the foundation is, so I think it's still looking good. For now, I think that's all you need to know about the product. Now we're going to do a wear test. The time now is 1:45 p.m. I'm going to go about my day for a few hours and come right back and show you how it looks and give you my final thoughts, so don't go anywhere. So I'm back to do a check-in. The time now is 4:24 p.m. As you can tell, I am beginning to have some oil around my T-zone area. On my forehead, you can see some shine, and then on the side of my nose, which is not so bad for now. So let's see how this will continue to hold up by the time I'll come back to give you my final thoughts. So this is how my skin is looking after about 6 hours of wear. The time now is 7:52 p.m. The last time I checked in, I didn't have as much oils as I'm having now. I can see the tint stick wore well. I had done some activity. I have more oils on my nose area, on my nose and on the sides of my nose. Regardless of the oil I'm having, I think the claims about the products being one that evens out the skin tone and blurs the skin is spot on. The rest of my face still looks very good. Regardless of the oils around my T-zone, I am not having creasing anywhere. I usually have creasing on my forehead when I wear certain foundations, but with this one, I don't think it enhanced the creasing or wrinkles on my forehead. And the product did not oxidize. I looked out for that. The product did not oxidize. Another thing I didn't mention when I was applying the product is that it gave my skin a natural finish. My skin looked like I wasn't wearing anything on. It looked very skin-like and very natural. Now, this is the side I applied the primer, and I don't think there's much of a difference regarding which side produced more oils or which side wore well, but I think the side with the primer to me wore well. I don't think there is much of a difference because I have oils on both sides. I mean, it's just about the same amount of oils I am having. So I'm going to try to apply some powder right now. I'll blot and then apply powder because I have a lot of oils coming through. Looks good. Yeah. So do I recommend the product? I do. It looks very, very chic. I like it. I like the gold strip on the container. It makes it look really, really cool. Regardless of the amount of products, which is very annoying, if you can afford it, I think you should. So this is where I end my video for today. If this is your first time on my channel, I hope you consider subscribing. For my returning subscribers, thank you guys so much for your continuous support. Until my next video, have a blessed night and stay safe.